All right, we'll go ahead and get started. A reminder, there are no recordings during the press conference. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. And then when you get the mic to ask a question, please give your name and affiliation first. We're joined by Texas head coach Mike White and players Alyssa Washington and Mac Morgan. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach White, go to questions just for players. The players will then leave and then go to questions just for Coach White. So if you have an opening statement.
Sure. Well, obviously it was a good game for us. Florida's a very tough team. We knew they were going to be, the way they've been hitting the ball the last several weeks, it's been impressive. So I thought Mac Morgan did a great job there going out the first innings, was able to kind of set the tone for the game and then be able to score straight away, something we haven't really been doing. We've always seemed to be coming from behind, but this last series we've been able to score runs early. And as I told the ladies, it's the first trip in seven trips I've made, and the first time that I've actually won that second game. So it feels a lot better to be in this position than the other. But we know there's a lot of work ahead of us. There's going to be another great teams coming through. Can't get too far ahead of ourselves, and we've got to be ready to play.
I will go to questions for players, front row on the right here.
Jacob Richmond, Lone Star Live. Alyssa, I was just curious, how is the second time around of the Women's College World Series? I know you're only 2 games in, but how has it felt different for you? Do you feel like the expectations are different for you at all, and how are you trying to live up to those?
Yeah, coming here my second time, it, again, is a blessing. Just being able to finish my career here, I'm so thankful for it. But coming here, we have a lot of girls that haven't been here before, so using the experience that I have, using the experience that I have, just guiding the girls, I'm helping them calm their nerves. It is a big stage, so it gets pretty loud, it gets overwhelming. So just being someone who has been there before and just someone they could talk to.
Sure, we'll go front row left now.
Sydney Supley, Softball America. Alyssa, I got to talk to your mom right after she was given the home run ball, and the emotions were evident. What does it mean to just have her along on this journey with you and to have such a big hit in a huge moment?
It means everything to have my mom here. That hit meant more than just the game. It was something I've been wanting to do ever since my first time coming here for my dad. So making that hit, it was all honor to him, and the ball being given to my mom, that made my life. That made my whole career. So that was just a great moment. And for my mom to be there, I know my dad was watching as well, but for my mom to be there and get that ball just meant everything to me.
All right. Stay front row left.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. I guess Alyssa and maybe Mac, you can touch on this afterwards, but just how have you guys really taken pride kind of in the second half on your defense? Really had really great plays tonight and just focused in on that.
Yeah, it's just kind of recognizing where we're at on defense right now. Sometimes we make mistakes, but it's just the matter of battling adversity and how we handle it and bouncing back. And Mac was Mac was throwing her butt off out there. So just being able to have her back and work for her, it felt great.
All right, go front row right.
Mac, can you just talk about what was going right for you today? Got a lot of those swinging strikeouts. How are you seeing Florida? And that's a tough lineup to get through. Can you talk about what went into that?
Honestly, I was just trying to produce ground balls for my defense because my defense showed up for me, and it was my turn to show up for them, and I did that. And, it was on. My drop ball was working. I was just hitting locations and trying to get my defense to work.
More questions for players? Go front right again.
Alyssa, can you just talk us through the home run, what you saw on that pitch, and how it felt to be able to get your team that big first inning?
Yeah, it all just began in batting practice, recognizing what I'm strong at, knowing what I wanted to hunt that game, and recognizing what the pitchers throw, the Florida pitchers throw. And so in that at bat, yes, I was hunting my spot, but I just told myself no matter what, just compete.
Any more questions for players? Okay. Thank you, players.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach White? Sure, we'll go front row left.
I guess could you kind of go into why maybe Mac's drop ball matches up really well with Florida's bat pass and why she did so well tonight?
Can't give away all my secrets, but I thought that Kilfor threw an excellent game against them the night before, and that kind of played into the decision to play Mac in that. And then also her just big game experience the last several weeks. She's really stepped her game up. I think I've talked before about challenging her, about keeping the ball in the infield and using her defense, and she's been able to do that. So it's one of those ones where, hey, we start her, We've got others in the wings waiting to come in if we have to. But the way she started, and truthfully, it's a game of inches. I mean, they hit a couple of bullets in that first one. Ashton made a nice diving play. There's a couple other hard hit balls. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and tonight it was our day.
All right, stay front row left.
Coach, how much do you feel like just overcoming a lot of obstacles and tough battles in super regionals prepared your team for this moment to come out and just compete in such a large way?
Well, you sure hope. They talked about the adversity, builds character. So, we hope that's what happens, because it was really tough, super regional, extremely tough. We were able to kind of persevere, being down multiple times, and you hope that builds the character. But I like much better being out in front right now. So it's a lot better on my hair and my gray. So.
All right, we'll stay front row left with Jake.
Yeah, Jake Trotter, ESPN. Mike, the other day, Patty Gasso was weighing in on how she feels sad about the Pac-12 going away, because what it's meant to softball. Spinning that forward, could you weigh in on what the SEC is going to be like? We already know what it is as a conference when you guys in Oklahoma join the league next year.
Well, I mean, if last weekend's anything to go by, it's going to be a really, really tough hoe, to go through. And, I can see you having, 15 losses in that conference, and still do pretty well. I mean, with throwing Oklahoma in there as well. And, all softball's getting better. So it's changing the way we think as coaches. I think we're having to use multiple pitches. We've been blessed with that. We barely made the cut for making all region by having 100 innings pitched. That's how much we used our pitches. So I think we may have to rethink that criteria for All American. Because some teams obviously are using their pitches a lot, but we've been able to use multiple pitches. So but going into that conference, that's next year. But it's going to be very tough, and I'm just hoping that it elevates the game of softball.
There we go, front row right now.
Coach, could you talk about the impact that Katie Stewart has on the offense and how you've seen her grow throughout the season to the point where she can come up with 2 huge hits in the World Series, in the Women's College World Series?
Yeah, she could be like the unsung hero. Not that she's not unsung, but I mean, hitting behind Reese, because obviously Reese wouldn't see many pitches. They'd just walk if we didn't have a productive hitter behind her. And Katie's been able to do that. She had some little ups and downs, but she's working hard on her game. Excellent athlete, got a cannon for an arm. We could put her at catcher and we wouldn't lose anything. And she's having to work at first base, and that's been a struggle for her, to tell you the truth. But she's hasn't said anything about it, and she's worked her way through it, and she's getting more comfortable over there.
There we go, front row left.
I think Mia hit her 6 home runs at the start of the Big 12 tournament. She kind of had a sack bunt earlier. Just how much does she really add to this lineup, and just even that power stroke lately really helping out?
Truthfully, Mia doesn't know how good she really is. I think Mia could hit a home run just almost on will. I mean, but she just wants to hit the ball the other way a lot of times. She's an incredible athlete, one of the best ones I've coached. But Mia does what Mia wants to do. She's kind of a wild card, and that kind of makes her, that's the way she works, So I'm respective of that, and as long as she stays within the team rules and what we expect of her, she's a great player to coach.
Any more questions for Coach? All right, thank you.
Thank you.